In this lesson, we're going to learn how we can start to set up and work with a Maya project. So for this lesson, we're just going to start with a blank scene. Now let's start by just talking about where Maya is actually going to save and open our files from. So let's start by just going up to this little icon up here to open a scene. And let's just take a look at where Maya is by default going to be looking for our scene locations. So in my case, by default, it's actually going to be looking inside of this scenes directory. But you can see that we actually have this pretty lengthy directory that's sort of behind it, and this is essentially where Maya is by default going to look for most of our scenes, textures, things like that. So in this scenes directory, I'm just going to go up a couple of levels here so we can actually see where this is. So in my case, this is going to be looking in My Documents and Settings inside your particular user account. Inside of My Documents, there'll probably be a folder called Maya, and then inside of that, a folder called Projects. So whenever Maya is first installed, it's going to create this default project. Now if we double click on this, we can actually see several different folders inside of this. This is what Maya refers to as a project. And essentially, just like the name suggests, this is where we're going to take all of the different things that make up our current Maya project and store them all together. So things like our scenes, any images that we render out, textures, all of these will be organized into one project. So what this means is that we don't necessarily have to have all of our different Maya scenes lumped together into one directory or spread out all over the place. It's just a really quick and easy way of taking all of the different assets that make up one particular project and then just keep all of these together. So really the process of setting up and working with projects is going to become very, very important to you as you start to get into Maya. So let's look at how we can start to actually set up and kind of make our own projects. So we can do this in Maya by going up to the File menu, and under File, go down to Project. So let's start by making ourselves a new project. We'll go to Project New, and now we can actually start to define just where this project is going to be stored. Right. So in my case, something like My Documents Projects, and now we can come in and give this project some kind of a new name. So when it comes to naming your projects, obviously you'll want to try to really name these something that is going to be appropriate, just so you can actually have a pretty good idea of what is going to be stored inside of this project. So let's, for the sake of demonstration, we'll call this something like Example Project. And again, this new folder will be created inside of this directory that's listed out here. And we can actually browse to find a new directory, or you can manually type in a new directory location if you don't want this necessarily stored here. Now, one last step before we finalize our project is we have the ability to determine some different folders. If you recall from just a moment ago, inside of that project there were actually several different folders, things like scenes, images, and things like that. Now, if we want to, we can actually come in and specify unique names for each of these, although typically I find that it's really going to be much more useful and much faster to just simply use the defaults. So we'll click on this little button down here, and now it will automatically populate this with the appropriate data. So now we'll have appropriately named folders. Once we have all this set, just go ahead and press Accept. So now, the next time we try to open this up, you can see now it is going to be looking inside my example project that I just built, and specifically, it's going to look inside the scenes directory. So again, really, really nice way of, as you're starting to work on multiple projects, becomes really, really easy to start separate those out and keep the appropriate information in the appropriate scene files in the appropriate project. Now, there may be certain instances where you actually have maybe a project file or a project structure that's been given to you, and now we just need to tell Maya to pull from that particular directory. So if you download the project files for this course from our website, that actually does contain a project file inside of it that we will be periodically pulling from as sort of start files for some of our lessons. So to actually set up an existing project, again, we go to File, Project, and now Set. And now we just need to point it to the appropriate project folder. So in my case, I have this new project that's set up on my computer on my C drive, and this is my Beginner's Guide to Maya project files. So now with this folder selected, we just click Set. Alright, and now the next time we go to open a file, you can see now my project has been set to this Beginner's Guide to Maya project, and specifically it's going to look inside the scenes directory of this project that I just set up. Alright, so that's a look at how we can start to set up and work with projects inside of Maya.